All right, here we go. Welcome to another episode. Today we're going to be talking about my 5 favorite life-changing podcasts. So I am a podcast junkie and I wanted to share with you guys. I was really excited to make this episode because it literally is something that I can trace back to the success of my business. So we're going to go through my 5 favorite and stick around to the end because I have 3 bonus ones that I still wanted to include. They are on a very cool, special, personal level that I still think can add a lot of value to you, your life, specifically, especially from an entrepreneur standpoint. So for those of you new here, my name is Hutchings. I've done over $1 million in sales on Etsy. That's kind of a little bit of my MO. But bigger than that, I really love at this point just sharing my experience with people, connecting. I'm very much, as cheesy as it sounds, like, I'm trying hard to focus on the little dot here on my phone because that's where like the camera is instead of just talking to like myself, which is still weird, but at least it's like a human. Because I really want to, I wish I could connect with everyone. Like, there's people, you're watching this. Where are you watching this from? How is your day going? Like, what brought you here? I also know that I'm not really good like YouTube. It's like, okay, like I've probably already lost half the people that first clicked on the video because I'm talking too long and too much. But that's why, again, talking about podcasts, I really, really, really want to turn this into a podcast someday because I think the purpose and reason I'm doing this could lend itself really well to a podcast format. YouTube, sometimes I give myself a little anxiety, like you got to be quick, you got it to be the point. Like, here are my 5 amazing steps and tricks to do this and that. But that's not exactly my style. I really like to be genuine, authentic, just kind of share what's on my heart and mind. And again, I do these all in one take. I don't have time to sit and edit them. I probably made 2 or 3 videos where I would stop, I'd make a mistake and be like, okay, now I'm going to go back and re-say it again, a better way, a different way. And those videos have yet to be published because I don't have a video editor. I can't bring myself to make the time to do something. It's kind of I hate technology. Technology hates me. Hence the reason I haven't started the podcast yet. But regardless, you are here for whatever reason listening. And I really hope that these podcasts, if you're a podcast listener, you can go and find them. I'm not affiliated with any of these podcasts. I don't know. YouTubers say that. I think it's important. Maybe not. But these are just my personal picks. So without any further ado, I promise, let's get to it. Okay. No particular order. I was going to put them in my favorite order and I couldn't do it. It was just too hard. So number 1 is Product Boss. Shoot, and I was even gonna get someone else's phone because I'm filming on my phone so you could see to make sure you have the right one, because I don't even know. I'm like, is there a way I post a link in the description? I don't know how to do that. I listen to all of my podcasts on just my Apple podcast app that comes on my phone. So just search for Product Boss. Hopefully you'll find them. But these 2 ladies started this podcast about creating, if you are a product-based business, and I found them and I've been following them. I've purchased their course. I really, really resonate and love them because, for those again who know a little bit more about my story, I have been doing almost exclusively Etsy selling for 12 years. So yes, that has led to over 100,000 sales on that particular platform, which is fabulous and so much fun, and I love Etsy. But really, I'm at this turning point where it's okay, it's time to grow. It's time to actually expand beyond that. And I feel like this podcast has offered so much helpful information to kind of go beyond just Etsy or just this one particular piece of e-commerce or product-based businesses. And so I haven't found a whole lot of podcasts out there that talk specifically, if you sell a product, come join us. The information is just really cool. Plus, it's one of those things, I just really like their personalities. They joke about how people don't always love their humor. I do. I think it's great. It makes me laugh when I'm listening to it. And I just really resonate with them. So go check them out. Hopefully you will find them helpful to you and your business as well. Okay, podcast number 2 is Maybe you've heard of this one, super big as well. I was introduced to her years ago. I'm pretty sure it was my sister-in-law who has kind of started a couple businesses. And she was like, you should check this girl out. I think you'd really like resonate with her. So her name is Jenna Kutcher, and she has a podcast called the Goal Digger Podcast. So Goal, goal, like Gold Digger Podcast. I have seriously been listening to that for years and years and years. Also super fun. She's kind of like had babies around the same time. We both really personally resonate. Like I've had a lot of miscarriages, a lot of infertility stuff that I'm still like going through right now. So it's just a really awesome reminder, like with you, whether you're opening an Etsy shop, just wanting to start a business, live your best life, like whatever it is. I love that the power and thought behind like finding people. Like I said, whoever's here, again, my audience is not super huge at this point, which is fine and great because I really am that believer that there's people out there who do resonate with what I am sharing and do find it helpful and uplifting. And maybe sometimes it's even just entertaining. There's so much good entertainment out there, from shows to music. I just listen to these things or watch these things sometimes. And I'm so grateful for these artists and people who put these things out there because they've enriched my life. And so again, that's how I feel about these podcasts. I really feel like she falls into that category. She's given so much good business advice, and I just really love her story and I relate to it. So hopefully, again, if you're that person, if you find people that you relate to, like follow them, like be a part of that, whatever they're sharing with the world. And also take that own inspiration and know, like, whatever you're wanting to share, like share it. Is it on Etsy? Is it a product? Whatever you're creating or designing, obviously, that's why I love the Etsy platform, because it's all about creatives and putting that into the world, into the universe, the cosmos. I get a little, what's the word? Like hoodoo voodoo? Not hoodoo voodoo. Maybe voodoo's not the right word I'm trying to say right now. Little woo woo with that kind of stuff. So Goal Digger Podcast number 2. Okay, number 3 is called the Boss Babe Podcast. Also, I'm pretty sure fairly large at this point. It's been 2 ladies. I know sometimes they just do solo ones, but they bring all kinds of just fun guests. Again, they have cool accents. I'm not even going to embarrass myself and try to guess what kind of accent they are. I have good friends from England, Australia, who would be like embarrassed for me. Anyway, just go listen to it and then you can tell me like what kind of accents they are. Doesn't super matter. But I really love they're about, a lot about like just women empowerment, building confidence, growing your businesses, whatever shape those take. I've been able to take a lot of really, really cool. They had this one just a little while ago about, I can't even think of the names now, but a lady on there who was talking about how she's starting to invest now in like other businesses. So she built her business super big and now she's like become almost like an angel investor to other businesses. And I just like that, I thought that was so cool. I don't know if in my Etsy shops I'm doing right now, we lend money to entrepreneurs on Kiva. Go check out that website too if you ever get a chance, kiva.org. They're a nonprofit, but you can, again, just help people who are trying to start their businesses. And so, I don't know, I just really love that idea of like being able to invest because I love entrepreneurship. That's why I'm doing these podcasts and everything right now, because I love helping people to build those dreams. I just think it's so much fun. And that's kind of what their podcast is about as well, Boss Babe. So check that one out. Okay, number 4. I realize I listen to a lot of podcasts. Can you feel me? Are you a podcast listener? Maybe YouTubers and podcasters don't mix as well. Maybe put that in the comments. If you're like, no, I'm like on YouTube. I love YouTube. I love the video piece of it. Or maybe you do both. Or maybe you don't listen to podcasts at all. I would love to hear from you. Tell me about your experience. Do you have favorite podcasts? Put that there as well. I'm always looking for cool podcasts. Okay, number 4. This one is so good. This one, like, I want to say she almost makes me cry. Like, almost every single episode I listen to. You guys know me. That's kind of how I roll. Super embarrassing. I'm working on it. I just get all the feels, and that's how they manifest sometimes. It's fine. I love her podcast. It's called Don't Keep Your Day Job. So good. What is her name? Kathy Heller. No. I think it is. Yes, I think it's Kathy Heller. Don't Keep Your Day Job podcast. I've listened to her for a long time as well. she even has some like courses and things that I've almost like jumped into, but I've been like, oh, it's not quite the right time yet. Again, I'm running like 3 businesses right now. It's great. I love it. It lights me up. But anyways, check her out. The reason I wanted to make this YouTube episode, for those of you who are still listening and in it to win it with me, I know I get long-winded and I know I ramble too much sometimes. So thank you for just hearing me out and being patient with that. But she is all about like bringing, like, that's how I find my inspiration. Like, that's one of the reasons, like, I am here making these YouTube videos, literally because of these type of podcasts and people being like, do it, like, put yourself out there, like, put your stuff out there. People need it. They want to hear from it. And so now, again, these people probably will never see or know, but I'm like sharing this with you, and I really hope you can continue to receive that same kind of inspiration. I was talking to my sister, she's been talking about writing a book for years, fantasy. She's so good. I really hope she does it someday. She's got some really cool ideas, but that's one of the pieces of advice I gave her. I was like, go find some book podcasts. They've got to be out there. I'm not looking for them because I'm not trying to write a book right now, but I know there have got to be podcasts out there specifically for writing a book. And so it's like I'm like, you just have to fill your head and your space. It is so easy to get down on ourselves and get discouraged and just be like, guys, I can't even tell you how many times today I'm recording this from my bedroom today because I didn't have time in the office. It's like I went to the office, I was working, and then I had to pick up kids, and now I'm home before like we're doing like some movie night or something tonight. And I'm like, I have committed. I said I would make a video every Thursday. So I'm just going to bring my camera, and I've got like a little box that I propped up my phone on, and one of my daughters is whatever. It doesn't matter. They're hopefully not going to come in the bedroom because I don't do retakes. Like, what you see is what you get. But anyways, now this would be a great time where I could edit that out and be like, pretend that didn't happen because I don't remember what we were talking about. I'm actually surprised this hasn't happened more in doing these videos with you guys, because that's literally like the MO for my life. I'm like, wait, what were we talking about again? Okay, so Don't Keep Your Day Job podcast. Oh, I think to circle back, it was just the concept of immersing yourself in this positivity, these vibes. And that's what, like, I listen to so many of these podcasts like all day, every day. And that's why, a lot of people are, oh, how did you do, how have you grown your Etsy sales and your shop and your business so well? And I'm like, it's literally just like trying and trying and trying again and getting up and trying someone. That's why, again, I love these YouTube videos so much because they're so, I'm not going to call them bad because they're beautiful for what they are, but I know there will come in my time in my life if I continue down this path and feel like this is a good medium for kind of, meeting those goals and those visions of how I want to help people build businesses and whatever. But I know I will look back on these and be like, oh my gosh, go back and watch some. That's how I am like with my Etsy shops. I'm like, I wish if you could scroll back and see like some of those first photos, those first items, the pricing, oh my gosh, like my logos, my banners, like everything I did was so much not as good as what it is now. But that's because there's always going to be like a learning curve no matter what you're doing. So just keep motivating yourself. So go find podcasts. Hopefully some of these might help be that same thing, just that extra inspiration for you to keep you on the path of building the life of your dreams. All right, number 5. This one is called Entrepreneurs on Fire, EOS. And I don't honestly even know the guy's name. He always comes on podcast, boom, shake the room, Fire Nation. Like, he's so funny. I love his intro. He's just JLD. I don't know. That's because how he addressed. You've been listening to the podcast with JLD. Like, I don't even know what his first name is. But he's so good. He brings on so many people from all different podcasts, and he's really good. He's actually like, okay, get to the stuff. He's not rambling like I am. Like, how long? I've been going for like 15 minutes. Not horrible, not the best. But he brings these people on. They give like, okay, here's this piece of advice, like, and I really have found some really cool business stuff from his podcast, and he's just fun. The energy he brings is just fun. He's been doing it for a long time too. So again, that one's Entrepreneurs on Fire. Very cool. Okay, so if you're still with me, I'm going to get to those bonus 3. Now, these bonus 3 final podcasts are I'll talk about, so the first one I want to do is Etsy Conversations. This one I really wanted to put in my top 5 because I have listened to her podcast for years. But and then I decided I wanted to do a special 3 because these last 3 podcasts, so this one, Etsy Conversations, she brings on Etsy sellers. I was just on her podcast. She was the first person that ever reached out to me and was like, come on my podcast. She was so amazing to talk to and meet in person. Her name is Ijama. If you have not checked out that podcast, definitely. If you have, please leave me a comment. I know you probably love her as much as I do. She's so just humble and beautiful. And anyways, Ijama, you're the best. Thank you for having me on your podcast. That was just a couple, I think maybe a week ago. So you can go check that out on her podcast. Next one, kind of the same thing. H is for Hustle podcast. His name is Jerome. I don't know him as well. He reached out to me. He actually had watched some of my YouTube videos and wanted to have me on his podcast. But I really, from the episodes that I've seen so far, super cool. He brings in a lot of different voices and different ideas. I feel like he asks really thoughtful questions. He's very genuine. So another good one, H is for Hustle. Final one is gonna shout out to my boy, Donald Kelly, who I haven't talked to probably since college, but we went to college together. He was even dating one of my best friends at a time, but now he has this amazing podcast. It's not quite in the same vein of what I'm doing with e-commerce and Etsy, but still check it out. It's cool. It's called The Sales Evangelist. Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. He's so funny. So one of these days I need to reconnect. Maybe I'll send him this YouTube video and be like, oh my gosh, we haven't talked in so long, but I talked about you on my YouTube channel, because he has been an inspiration to me of, again, wanting to start a podcast. Really impressed that he kind of started this business almost, I want to say, out of the gate of college, which is, again, he didn't even go the corporate route, which is super cool to me. So one of these days I would love to have him, if I get to the point where I'm interviewing people, I would love to talk to him about his journey. So those are the podcasts. Again, really quick: Product Boss, Goal Digger, Boss Babe, Don't Keep Your Day Job, and Entrepreneurs on Fire. Bonus 3, Etsy Conversations, H for Hustle, and Sales Evangelist. So I hope you guys seriously take the time, download some of these podcasts, check them out. I hope you love them as much as I do. Please remember, subscribe, so I can just keep making these videos. Honestly, I show up because some people take the time out of their day to leave me really nice comments thank you, I really like that video. So if that even resonates at all, I would love to hear from you. Just let me know, because I literally, I am here to do this for you guys. I know what it's like. I told you, there's this company that anyways, I'll save that story for another day. Thank you. I hope to see you guys next week. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.